Welcome to Homefront Sit Rep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find Homefront Sit Rep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out Homefront Sit Rep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.
Out on the edge of the battle and back, we've carried the weight and we've walked every track. From desert dust to the fire at home, we've learned how to fight, how to stand alone. But no one tells you what comes after the war, when silence is louder than the guns we bore. That's where we speak, that's where we heal. Stories too real for Hollywood reels. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see, when warriors to battle just differently. This is our check-in, our voice, our step. This is the Homefront Sit Rep podcast. For the fallen, the fighting, and those who came home. For the brothers and sisters who still feel alone. We're holding the line with truth and respect. This is the Homefront Sit Rep podcast. For the fallen, the fighting, and those who came home. For the brothers and sisters who still feel alone. We're holding the line with truth and respect. This is the Homefront Sit Rep podcast. It ain't all medals and waving flags. There's pain in the silence and weight in the facts. But we've got a mic and a mission to share, to tell the damn truth, cause somebody's gotta care. We laugh, we cry, we cuss, we pray. We honor the ones who ain't here today. From basic to battle and back to the block. This is our rhythm of round table talk. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see, when warriors to battle just differently. This is our check-in, our voice, our step. This is the Homefront Sit Rep podcast. Still heavy in dreams out of reach, for the lessons the textbooks could never teach. We're sounding off, no filter, no prep. This is the Homefront Sit Rep podcast. So if you've worn the boots or love someone who did, if you swallowed your hurt and kept it all hid, pull up a chair, you're not alone. Welcome to the front lines you don't always see, where courage meets scars and raw honesty. This is our anthem, our truth intercept. This is the Homefront Sit Rep podcast. For the ones still standing and those we've lost yet, for every single story we'll never forget. We speak so others won't forget. This is the Homefront Sit Rep podcast. Real talk, real facts, real life. Homefront Sit Rep podcast, where the mission continues.
Welcome everybody to a Sunday edition of Homefront Sit Rep. How is everybody doing? Gunny, how are you, sir?
Good, man. Everybody in the Deeds household is falling apart. April went to the gym today, came back and pulled a muscle in her lower back. And then, Micah was racing, right? And got in a little bit of an accident in the go-kart, a couple months ago. And come to find out it's, the nerve that's on the outer part of the elbow here. So he's basically got to have that reset or whatever. So surgery on Wednesday for him. So yeah, it's and of course all the flu and everything that's going around. Yeah, just that whoever has the voodoo doll for the Deeds household, you need to let that heal a little bit.
Yeah, definitely let it heal a little bit. Holy cow, man! It sounds like time for a vacation. Time to get out of there.
Yeah, right. We April and I sat down last night and we planned our dates to take off to Europe. So getting those locked in and get flights locked in, stuff like that. So we'll be taking off June 16th and returning back on the 26th. So we'll be over there for 10 days, visiting Troy and Angela and enjoying Bellawood and Normandy and man, some of those areas. And then maybe April and I will take a day and jump on the train and take off down to Germany. There's just so much we can do from where we're going to be, right? So looking forward to it. Troy asked yesterday if I was bringing the boys. I'm like, no, No, it's just gonna be the wife and I. The boys don't deserve to go yet.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, they don't deserve, to go see that history just yet. No,
Yeah.
I don't blame you, man. Just you and the wife go do some resetting. I think, Troy's got some fishing in line for you too, right? If I remember, he
He's
said something about
looking,
this.
yeah. So there's a few canals near his house, and then one of the French police officers that he works with over there has a few Airbnbs and restaurant over near Normandy or that area, and there's a few ponds near it. So we may throw a line in the pond or two.
Heck yeah, man. That sounds like I'm jealous. First off, I'm jealous, because you get to go over and see Bella Wood and all of that, and uh, but you know, at least, we can once you go over there with Troy this time, once I'm able to go join you guys over there before Troy comes back. Uh, I think that'll be a once in a lifetime kind of trip for me. You know what I'm saying? To go over there to see Bella
Yeah,
Wood, Normandy, and all of that. That would just it'd be phenomenal. That's for dang sure. And then get
yeah.
to
And he
experience
just
it.
did it. He's like, I'm mapping it out for you. So both of his boys went over there for Christmas, and then right after Christmas, they took off and went down to Point de Hoc and Dunkirk and some of those other areas, and of course, Omaha, Utah Beach, and the American Cemetery over there. So he's got it all scouted out. So his
Heck
next
yeah.
trip over into France is going to be probably to the Bellawood area just to see how everything goes. Because you have to go to the inn and
Yeah.
get the key from the innkeeper for the gate to get into where Devil Dog Fountain is. So
Yeah.
doing the research and getting it all done, and yeah, I'm excited, man. Beyond, there will be a couple of the coins from the board behind me will be taking a trip over there. There's a gentleman that I've met a few years ago whose grandfather served in Bellawood,
Oh,
and he did a coin for his granddad, and I have it here somewhere. It might be in the other room, but they'll be taking a trip over there with me, and
and
yeah.
they won't be coming back.
Yeah, it will, because I'm going to send that coin back to Ken. So I'm going to dip the coin in Devil Dog Fountain, and get
Mm.
a little bit of the dirt from the area and bring it all back and send it to Ken, and then just
What?
do a swap out.
Heck yeah, man. That'd be awesome, bro. That would be awesome. Well, everything in the Willis household is good so far, man. You know, kind of a busy week at work. Everybody's getting back since last time we were on Monday when we got back from vacation, and just kind of getting back into the groove of things. Just been yeah, just kind of just going with flow right now, man. It's just getting back into the groove of podcasting, and
Yeah.
getting guests scheduled and stuff for the upcoming episodes and stuff like that. And like tonight's guest, I reached out to their Facebook page because I see they were wrapping up for the season and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna reach out to these guys because this is a good time for them to come on to talk about everything that happened this past year and then what they got
Yeah.
planned for the upcoming year. And it kind of goes into yours and mine reset because it's outdoors. They do fishing, they do hunting, they do a lot of things outdoors, and they take veterans on these hunts. And it's a unique system on how they decide who gets to go on these hunts. So, you might put in for it, but depending on how many points you get is if you get to go or not. And
Yeah.
they don't take any um second turn or second run guys. So like if you went one time,
Yep.
it might be a few years, maybe if ever, that you get to go on a hunt again. So I'm super excited about bringing this guy on, Brian, to come on and talk about their organization. What's up, Scott Lara? How are you, sir? I need to get back with him too, with Mr. Scott Lara. But the organization's name is Heroes Hunt for Veterans. It is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to honoring U.S. military service by providing fully guided, cost free hunting experiences for veterans. Founded and operated with a strong grassroots ethos, the organization leverages the outdoors especially hunting, as a means of restoration, camaraderie, and appreciation for those who have served. Dude, that's just right. That's right up my alley
Yeah.
altogether. And then, of course, they throw in fishing and other things as well. So we're gonna, um, it's super neat because it's not like going to some place that says, "Hey, we're gonna go fishing, hunting," and you're sitting in a full blown out log cabin, which I'm gonna let Brian talk about this in a minute, but it's kind of getting back to it's kind of making you ground yourself back to nature. So yeah, we're definitely gonna let Brian talk about that. What's up, Mr. Jason Ginger? How are you, sir? So I think we're ready, Gunny. You think we're ready to bring Brian up?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. Let's see. Make sure I get the right one for Mr. Brian. Nope, not that one. This one. Had to
Hey
find the right
there.
one. Welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Man, we are doing wonderful. If we were any better, we'd be you.
Very funny. Yeah, yeah. Well, welcome to Wisconsin. It's cold up here, a little bit of snow on this part of the state here, but we could use a lot more. We like the snowmobile, but that's not happening here yet.
Heck yeah. Heck
So
yeah.
I
Well,
sure
do me a
appreciate you
favor.
reaching out to us and getting us.
Well, no,
What's that?
we want to say thank you for taking time out of your business and or your day, your busy day, and coming hanging out with us. But do me a favor, introduce yourself to the world of Homefront Sit Rep if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, my name's Brian Ball, 65 years old, married 39 years to my wife Sharon, who's also a big part of this. She's always the volunteer behind the scenes. You never see any doing, but she's always there doing stuff. Um, Basically, about 13 years ago, 12 years ago, I think it was my nephew, who was a Marine, proud Marine, did 2 tours in Afghanistan. And his second tour, he came back pretty, I'm going to say, messed up, very, very not himself anymore. And so, I was actually a Patriot Guard rider back then, so I stood a lot of funerals, flag lines keeping the protesters away. And so we were very aware of the suicide issue, and we were quite worried about Nathan. And then he'd always, as a kid, had always hunted out of my land with his brother and his dad, my brother and my daughter and stuff here. And that year, he's like, "No, I'm not going to hunt with you guys. I'm going to go out in the big marsh here, the Horicon Marsh, that's to the east of Waupun here where we live." And he promised he wouldn't do anything stupid, which he didn't. But he didn't have very good deer hunting. He didn't see much. We all tagged out in the meanwhile here. Thanksgiving rolls around, and there's still a nice 8-point buck coming behind my house in the food plot. And so I said, "Hey, Nate, you should go out there and try to shoot that buck." So he had his grumpy pants on that day, but he's like, "Okay, I'll go out there." And I said, "Well, just don't do anything stupid." "No, no, I won't." So he goes out there, and about half an hour later, I hear the old 308 pop. I said, "Please God, be a deer." And I get a text from him. So I go, he says, "Come back, Uncle Brian." So I go walking back there, and here he is, got that gun held above his head, smiling ear to ear, saying, "That just effing felt great, Uncle Brian." And it's like, that gave me the idea that as a civilian, something that I take for granted, or I've taken for granted in the past, that hunting is something that can actually help snap veterans, out of their war funk, I'm going to call it. I'm a civilian, so I'm going to use words that maybe ain't real, but to me, that's what it is. And so I saw him, and he's gotten so much better after that. I mean, so I gave me the idea that maybe something as simple as hunting can help you guys. So my land here, I got 17 acres. It's really good hunting land, and connected to my other neighbors stuff. But behind me is a 40-acre woods, and then there's 2 great big retired landfills that are full of deer and turkeys. It's city Waupun property though. So I approached the city of Waupun as whether or not we could maybe take veterans hunting in there. And they had the DNR come out and look at all and everything, and they agreed to let us do that. So that very first year, we only took 15 guys, but they got 14 deer. One guy made a bad shot, but that happens sometimes. So then we started realizing that this is going to work out. Well, the next year, we got the word out. We became the 501c3 and everything. And then we took 65 guys this our second year, which was like 5 guys for whatever it was, 15 or 16 weekends, which was like, wow, that was a lot. Because we only had like 5. By that time, I should back up. We had like 500 acres. So we had maybe like, I don't know, 10 tree stands, a couple blinds. And so we were kind of starting to burn out our property. by hunting that often, hunting every weekend and stuff. So that but then we end up getting more and more property. But the board of directors by that time says we can't take that many guys again, Brian. That's too much. We'll fold if we keep on working ourselves that hard. Well, I'm the one who books the hunts. And I took 66 guys the next year. There was so many great applications. I couldn't say no to these guys, so we made it through that year and it was okay. And everything was fine. We shot a lot of deer. They shot like 35 or 40 deer those years because back then we could still bait here in Wisconsin. Killing deer was a lot easier. And, but then also now we've kind of calmed it down a little. We went to like 55 guys for like 14 weeks. Now, the last couple of years we've been doing, 36 guys hunting here at Camp Nicholas. And then we got another camp that's about an hour away from us, 45 minutes away from us. That 10 guys throughout the fall go to that one too. So we still do about almost 50 veterans come here and hunt each year, but it's spread out. It's every weekend for like, well, this last year actually we did 3 weekends on, 1 weekend off, 3 weekends on, 1 weekend off. And then we ran out the last 4 weekends because that way it gives all the volunteers and us a little bit of a break too. And we're also burnt out by the end of the season, and stuff. So that's kind of how we started anyway.
No, I love it. Here you are, you started out five veterans, at the first year, and then you went up to 60 or 15, and then you went up to 65. I mean, that's quite a big jump and a lot of undertaking, especially for a new nonprofit that you're still trying to figure out, figure out the ins and outs. So, I don't know, something went in my throat.
So, since then, we've had about 525 vets have hunted with us in the last 11 years.
Wow.
And they've been from almost every state, other than I think maybe no Hawaii's yet, but we've had a lot of guys fly in. Then we'll meet them at the airport, pick them up and bring them here and stuff. And it's always a 3-day hunt. Sometimes we let guys come a day early and leave a day late if they have to fly in, or if they drive and they got a 12, 16-hour drive, we'll let them get here a day early so they can unwind a little bit stuff that's there. But usually the hunts start on a Friday afternoon, and then if it's bow hunting, we're either going to use crossbow or they're going to use their own bow. We make sure they're very good and qualified with it before they get to go hunting. Every hunter is guided the entire time. They have a guide sitting with them no matter if you're an experienced guy and shot deer all your life, you're still going to have a guide sitting with you, to keep you from shooting too far. They know the property, the guest doesn't know the property and stuff like that. So, it works out really well. That way they get build a rapport with a local guy here too then and stuff. And it works out really well.
Yeah, it helps create that bond too. Because if you got somebody who knows the property that you're traversing, that you're wanting to shoot on, whether it's bow hunting or with a rifle, like you said, the guide helps you along the way because he knows what's out there. He could tell you if there's a cross draft or if it's a straight, the wind's at your back or the wind's coming at you, whatever. So that's always good to have a guide that can help you make sure you get a buck or a doe.
Right. Well, we try darn hard, but sometimes they've killed about 250 deer roughly with us in the last 11 years. That we could have killed a lot more, but guys, for whatever reason, they pass up the first night, then they don't maybe go home empty-handed. Because it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday hunt. You get 3 full days of hunting and stuff there, and it's we've got about 2,000 acres, which is about 9 different farms. We got 36 sets of ladder stands. We got 2 shadow hunter blinds. We got 3 redneck blinds. We got about 6 permanent blinds on spots. They're all on food plots. I mean, it's land that I wish I could hunt on, but we can't. Right. But we've got control of the properties basically. And no one else hunts on most of these properties unless the landowner's got a different deal with some of his cousins or whatever. That's fine too. But it works out really well. We can keep the land fresh. It's like every morning, every weekend we go in, it's like opening weekend. The deer don't know they're being hunted. We hunt very smart by using the wind always at our advantage and stuff there. So, we do everything we can to make them successful. But like I was saying, a typical hunt starts Friday afternoon. Then they'll hunt Friday night. Then they'll come back to Camp Nicholas and have fish fry. We do Wisconsin fish fry. We're always known for that. Saturday morning, we'll get up and we'll either go. We don't hunt many bow hunting in the morning because of the fact that most of our hunting's done on food plots. If you walk out there in the morning, you blow the deer out of the food plot and it goes cold. So we learned that the hard way. So we end up we'll take guys to that trout fishing pond, which then they catch this giant rainbow in Tim Van Der Eijs ponds, and there's up to 12-pound rainbows in there, and they really fight, and they taste pretty darn good too. But then
Heck
also
yeah.
at that same spot, we got a bow range, a pistol range, a rifle range. Guys can bring their rifles to shoot up to 500 yards with them. So we get to do a little quiet fishing for a while. Then we're going to make some noise later on in the day. And then Saturday afternoon, then we'll go back out bow hunting again. And Sunday, sometimes we go pheasant hunting, or we'll go to shoot sporting clays. So then we hunt again Sunday evening. So
That's
it's
awesome.
a pretty action-packed weekend for the guys.
Yeah.
So are the deer, if a veteran gets a deer, are they processed on site? Do you how does the processing part of it go from there?
Typically, if they're from Wisconsin, there's a local meat locker here, Leroy Meats, out of Fox Lake. They will cut, wrap, butcher the guys for free. And then when they say they come back here to get it, or if we have to, we'll meet them. Or like we had a couple of people from Texas this year. We actually shipped the deer down once they were butchered. Then we shipped the deer down to Texas and stuff for them and stuff. So yeah, I actually picked up 5 buck skulls today. That guys got bucks and had them dipped, hydrographic dipping on them. So I got to send 5 buck skulls out. I got one guy got a nice buck last year. The taxidermist got it done. I got to ship that down to a guy here and mail that off here to UPS here pretty soon. So we do all that free of charge for them.
That's
so
awesome.
We've been blessed to be able to do that.
Heck yeah.
So you guys are out of Kentucky, right?
Yes, sir.
Our camp is called Camp Nicholas. He was with the 160th Night Stalkers.
Oh wow.
He got killed in 09. He was from Little Chute, Wisconsin here. I met his mom and dad to Patriot Guard Riders and stuff. And then when they found out what we were doing for the veterans, they said, well, what can we do to help? So they ended up donating our big wall tent we have that stays up all year long, all the cots and the mattress pads, everything to go with the camp. So we named the camp after Nicholas. That's why it's called Camp Nicholas.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Keep his memory alive.
So let's talk about the camp experience, because it's a little bit different. Like you said, you have your big wall tent that you have up. So it's not like a traditional cabin. It's a canvas tent that stays up year round, correct?
Right. Yeah, but it's a pretty fancy tent. It's just like you see at elk camp. It's a white wall Davis made out in Colorado tent, but it's on a raised deck. It's got carpet inside. There's heat. There's electricity. There's 4 big boy cots, and it has a steel structure roof. I mean, it's all wooden structure with a steel roof above it. Keep the elements off you. So it stays up all year long, but it's still deer camp. It's not like you're going to come and stay in a hotel. I mean, when we first started doing this, before we had that, we did have guys stay at the hotel in town here, but it wasn't quite the same. They weren't here. They weren't here for the campfire and stuff. There's still about 5 years ago, the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs donated us $25,000 through a grant to put up a building. So we got a 36 by 45 beautiful building put up. It's all in floor heat, and inside of it, it's a lodge. There's a big bar, a video archery. That's where the kitchen is, the dining area, the bathrooms. So it's about 40 steps away from the tent. So if you got to go to the bathroom, you got to run up there. But it's part of deer camp, It's no different than run out to the outhouse when it's heated up there.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I haven't heard too many complaints other than we always try to get a few women every year. And this year, they were here the last week in November, and they said it was a little cold running up there in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. It's like, well, suck it up, Buttercup,
That's
and
part
they did.
I mean, they're all veterans. They should all be used to it anyway, right?
Yeah, they were great. They had a good time, and they killed. I think them girls killed 5 deer that weekend.
Man,
that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I love the thrill. I love the thrill of going on a hunt anyway. Like I got places here in Kentucky that I can go hunting. And my thing is I love getting in there 0 dark 30, getting into my blind where my trees stand, depending on what I'm hunting that day, and just watch nature come alive. That's my reset. Right. Gunny, he loves fishing, whether it's on a fishing bank or in a boat. That's his reset. Mine is going out into nature, listening to the creek as the water's flowing over the rocks, and then just feeling that first ray of sun that hits you in the face, and listen to the squirrels and the critters coming alive. But there's nothing better than going out and shooting a deer, whether a doe or a buck, and providing meat for your family. And it's just a great reset. And I know Gunny's that way with fish too, when he's able to bring fish home to feed for his family as well. It's just, there's just something about that the healing principle of it. A lot of people, are afraid, to let veterans have guns, and
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of stigma in that.
Well, Chris Kyle
Um,
syndrome, we call it. I
yeah,
mean, it's sad, but it kind of is. It's Chris Kyle syndrome. People are afraid it's going to happen again, and it's like I don't live in fear. You can't do that, and stuff. And we don't have a
yeah,
problem. It's like we encourage guys to bring their guns along. We want to go shoot, you know.
hell yeah.
So,
Now, let's say I put in for a hunt and I got picked, and I wanted to bring my 308 with me.
yeah,
Am I able to bring my own personal rifle with me,
sure.
or
Yeah.
I didn't know how I
Yeah,
didn't
if
know
it's
how that
if
would
it's
work.
deer season, if it's gun hunting, then you're welcome to bring your own gun just to use it for the hunt. If you're flying in, you don't want to bring your own. We've got whether it be 308s, we got a 270, we got a couple of other rifles here that guys can use if they want. But if you're coming here to do a bow hunt, you're gonna bring a gun along. That's fine because we got that rifle range we're gonna go shoot at.
No,
And that 500 yards makes the with a hunting gun really separates the men from the boys.
Sure does.
They're both. It does. If you've got a BDC scope, it's a little bit easier. If you don't have, you got all 3 to 9. That's tough. Tough shot, but it's fun to do.
Yeah,
Everybody throw
I've got a
$5
cheater
in and
beat.
just get 2
Yeah, I've got a
shots.
cheater Nikon on mine.
Yeah,
I got
there
I
you
got a
go. But that
vortex.
makes a difference, don't it?
It does.
Yeah, I got a
Huge.
vortex scope
Very
on
good company.
mine,
They're
and
right
I
here in
love it.
Madison, Wisconsin. Yeah, Vortex has been very, very good to us. They're right here in Madison, Wisconsin, about 50 minutes away from where I'm sitting here. And they've helped us out. Any veteran, if you go online and buy their scopes through them, they'll give you it's like 25 or 50% off. It's a real
Yeah,
good
it's
deal.
a good
Vortex
discount
does
through
for you.
Vortex.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
For
see, I bought
binoculars or
mine
anything.
through Kentucky Gun Company, which my sister is one of the head people there, and I didn't get no discount, so now I'm a little upset.
Yeah, I mean, even like GovX with Vortex has a good discount, but if you go directly through them, it's a better discount than GovX
Yeah.
has.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. From what I've been told, it's pretty easy to do too. Good company to
Yeah,
work
it's
with.
just proof of service.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm
We've
gonna have to look
been
at.
it's been just crazy how when I first had this idea, 11, 13 or 12 years ago, the first guy I talked to was a buddy of mine named Lumpy, and he was all about it. He says, "Yeah, we got to do this for sure." And then the second guy I talked to was a guy from my church, and he says, Brian, the secret to success of this whole program is if you give God the glory. So this whole program will work out wonderful for us,
Yeah.
and it has. I mean, it's just to go where we've gone from basically nothing to where we are now is just, and it just blows me away. What we're able to do with just down old, hard old fashioned work, and it's turned out to what it is. I mean, the landowners that come forward is just crazy. The properties we get to take the guys onto is just awesome and stuff. And it's a lot of work, but I got a really good group of guys around me and gals and stuff that make this all take place and stuff. We got a good board of directors that make it happen and everything. And it's we've definitely been blessed.
Yeah. So is your applications come in through advertising or just word of mouth of guys and gals that have been there that are telling other veterans about it?
We don't really advertise too much, but if people if they Google up veterans hunts and they come upon Heroes Hunt for Veterans, I think we're like number 2 in the search engine if I recall right. And then if you go on our website, it says sign up or apply here. But if you click on it, it won't let you do it, but it'll prompt you to that. It says June 15th at 12:01 a.m. This window will open up.
Yeah.
And it's not a first come first served. It's like Will say before. It's I don't want to call it merit because every veteran deserves a hunt. We truly believe that. But what we try to do is if you're a Vietnam vet, we're going to get you on that hunt for everything we can do because their time is running short. We've had Korean War vets. We've actually had 1 or 2 World War II vets hunt with us. And then so we try to get every Vietnam vet we can. So if you're a Vietnam vet, you're going to get 2 marks. If you're a combat vet, you get a mark. Your Purple Heart, you get a mark. If you've never hunted before, you get 2 marks. If you've never been on a veterans hunt before, you get a mark. And what's the other? There was one other one. But anyway, what it ends up being is the guys with the most marks get the calls first.
Yeah.
And there's you can't just take everybody's name and throw it in a hat and draw guys. And so we're kind of trying to get the guys who we think need the hunt the most. And it's worked out really well. I got to say, I got to admit, like I was telling Wilson, what I talked about on the phone the other day is out of the 525 guys, we've really only had, a handful of guys they were just different. I'll put it that way,
Yeah.
So, and it was, so that was really, it's been really a great run. We got no complaints with anything, for as far as guys have been hunting here. When I say guys, I mean guys and gals. We've probably taken, I don't know, 30 women, 30 women that's in the last, 10 years here. So, right,
Now, when you bring the women veterans in, is it co-ed, or do women get to go on their own hunt, like just women veterans only on that hunt?
it's just women's. It's just women's weekend. They're gonna have guys. Some of the guys will be guides. There'll be guys that are sitting there with them, but it's the 3 women or 4 women stay in the tent together. That's their weekend to be here. I think last year or this last season we did the last week of the gun hunting. They did really well. The year before we did the first week of the bow season. They didn't kill anything, but they caught a lot of fish. And then the year before that, we did the last week of the ghost season. They did really well. So we kind of like that. Gun hunting's a little easier for them, and stuff. And we got heated blinds. I mean, it's not too rough. The tent, even though there might be 10 degrees outside, it's warm in that tent. Unless the propane runs out, then that's a problem. But they figure that out too,
So we got a guy here on TikTok, because we're live on TikTok as well. He said he meets all your criteria. Never been on a hunt before. Never been hunting before. He's a combat vet. The only thing he don't have is a Purple Heart. He's not a Purple Heart recipient. So Doc James, go ahead when it's available. Go to their website and apply, and you can go on a hunt up in Wisconsin. I think you would love it. So I just want to
apply
get
for that hunt and just put all the same things you did on there, and then just hopefully you get selected. I mean, we get about, and then 30 days that window's open, we get about 150 to 200 applications. Wow. Then we shut it down. That's enough to go through.
Yeah, because you said your window's not open very long for this.
30 days usually is what we stay. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
it's getting more and more popular like that. When I see that stack of paper getting to be, a couple inches thick, it's like, okay, time to shut her down and start grading and start selecting the guys and letting them come.
Yeah, so, because
like you were saying before, it kind of sucks that it's only it's a once in a lifetime hunt. We make friends with you guys, want you to come back again, in which they can. You guys can always come back as guides, spend the weekend with us and stuff, and guide the next group of vets. That's the one where you can always come back as a volunteer, but the hunts are only once and done. And because there's so many guys who've never gotten any veterans hunts. And so we want to try to get as many new guys into that. Like I was telling Willis too, is in the past, I may have had a guy who was a Purple Heart, combat vet, he did everything, but he's been on 3 or 4 veteran hunts already. He's probably not going to get one with us, because we're going to take the guy who's maybe never hunted before.
Yeah.
Grew up in the city, didn't have a dad to take him hunting. We're going to take him out, because he's never been on a veteran hunt or never went hunting, period. So we kind of got to, everybody does, like I said, everybody deserves that hunt, but we can only take just so many each year.
Yeah. And Gunny and I, we can testify to this. There's what we call frequent flyer veterans, and they apply for everything that they can find. And then they apply for it every year, and they keep, and it takes away from other veterans who might need it more than they do. Now, I'm not saying that Joe Blow don't need it, but there might be somebody else who needs it more than they do. And it's hard. It's hard when you run a nonprofit to say, well, we can't let you come. But if you set it up in your bylaws, which I think you have, that it's once in a lifetime, you go once. And like you said, you can come back as a guide, which if you come back as a guide, that helps you guys, because that helps you prolong the mission that you guys have founded at Heroes Hunt for Veterans. Because I know me and you, when we talked, you guys are getting up there in age. Eventually, you're not going to be able to do what you're doing. So you want to keep the mission going. And how do y'all have that set up? How do you have that set up where you keep the mission going once you and your other board members can continue the mission?
Well, we keep on recruiting younger and younger guys and gals onto our board. Now, like I was telling you, Mike stepped down because of his job position there, and we talked about it at the meeting last Monday night, and I prayed about the next night, and actually one of our volunteers said, "What about this gal from Waupun here? She works for the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs. She's got connections like crazy. She's very computer literate, unlike me, where I'm very illiterate. And so it sounds like, we're going to nominate her and probably vote her in as being our next president. So it'd be kind of cool having a gal there who's got a whole
Yeah.
new insight to different things. She's not a veteran either, but she works at the WDVA and stuff. So she might be a very, very good fit for that and stuff. So we just elected another young guy from on our board the other day. He could be coming to the meetings. He says, I'd like to be a board member, which it's a board member at large. It's just you're able to vote that and stuff. But we're trying to recruit
Right.
younger people in to take, slowly get into us and phase me out, phase me. Our secretary, Dave, he's obviously 70 now. I'm 65 and, there's things we got to do besides this and stuff the rest of our lives too. So we're trying to get this younger crowd involved and hopefully that happens. But sadly, I see it all the time is like when my dad he was a veteran, he died this past November. And when they did the honor guard there, them poor old guys are so old in the honor guard, they need younger recruits like you guys, to join them VFWs and join the American Legions and stuff to take over that. Person, there's not going to be any honor guard, stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of not just us that has the same problem, but other veterans organizations face it also.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I got out in 2004, I know we talked. I started volunteering and working on boards for some nonprofits, and now I'm with the Marine Corps League, and we have our honor guard that goes out and that does all the funerals for any service. It doesn't matter strictly just Marines, but they go to all branches if they're requested, come out and do honor guard and stuff. And a lot of those guys are the older generation, but we're slowly adding younger generation into that to keep the mission going. And for a successful nonprofit like you guys, you've been around for 11 years already, so you've already passed that 7-year bump. And here now you're like, all right, what do we need to do for the future? So now you got to find younger blood to come in and fill the roles, and you have to teach them along the way of what you've already accomplished, and then they can take it maybe another step in the future to make it even better for the veterans that are coming in for these hunts.
I think the issue is, especially our generation that served Iraq, Afghanistan. There were so many deployments back to back, right? So I know for like 3-8, we left January 05. They got back. I say they because I got injured and came home, but they got back. I want to say it was August, September timeframe. So they were gone 7 months. They came home for 5 months and then right back out the door again. Right. I think it was February the next year that they deployed into Ramadi. Then they came home. They were home for a little bit. Then they went on the boat somewhere. Then they came back and then they deployed directly to Afghanistan. So, I had guys that I picked up from the School of Infantry in 2004 that had 3 full combat deployments before they even had a first reenlistment.
Yeah.
Some of them 4 because I picked them up from the School of Infantry and deployed them to a combat zone. So I think that especially our generation, my generation, we still have young kids, and we're trying to be more involved in our families' lives because we were gone so much. Now, once our kids age out, and I say age out, college, high school, then I could see my generation getting more involved in the Marine Corps League, the VFWs, the Legions, some of the nonprofits that have an older generation that are running them. But for right now, I know for me, I work with a couple different nonprofits and plus my full-time, my full-time job, my job. I really don't have time for anything right now because I want to spend it with my family. My son will graduate college next December. My youngest is still in high school. So, once they leave and it's just the wife and I, she's going to be like, you need to find something to do or I'm going to strike leave. So, the Legions, the VFWs and some of the other veteran nonprofits and veteran service organizations will start benefiting. But I think it's once we get, our kids out the house because we were gone so much at such a young age that now
Yeah, yeah, for sure. You know, one
All
thing
right,
I
so
want everybody to know is that, is as far as I'm concerned, as long as has got my finger on this, this will always be 100% volunteer operation. None of us get a penny for anything other
Yeah,
than
that's awesome.
if you're using your own truck, we're going to put some gas in your truck and we're going to feed you really, really well. We always keep on kidding that when guys come here for the weekend, we should start weighing you in when you get here and weighing you when you leave. Because we eat like champs. I mean, we get big steaks on Friday night or Saturday, it's fish fry Friday, steaks on Saturday, breakfast every day. I mean, but like I was saying, we always want to remain that volunteer base. Not if we ever got to pay anybody, we're going to fold.
Yeah.
heck yeah.
So
Heck yeah. So you guys, so not just deer hunting, you do turkey hunts, you do waterfowl hunts. And these are all low pressure, veteran centric hunts. Basically, when you go out there, if you get one, you get one, you don't get one, you don't get one. So it
right.
keeps the pressure off of the veteran. Each veteran is paired with an experienced volunteer guide who ensures safety, compliance with regulations, and a positive experience.
Yep.
I mean, so just those 3 hunts, you got whitetail deer hunts, turkey hunts, waterfowl hunts. What other hunting experiences do you guys offer out there?
Well, we had a few guys, like let's say they tagged out on Friday night. Because see, we have some farms that we keep track of how many deer we shoot on them. So let's say we got to go run a hunt on a guy's farm and he shoots his buck Friday night. Well, now he's done hunting he doesn't want to shoot a doe. I'll take him coyote hunting. We got night vision and thermals. I actually got a new thermal and scanner again today. And so we take them out and do some nighttime coyote hunting. We'll do that with them for the rest of the weekend. Because with the waterfowl hunting, we got some fantastic duck hunting spots south of here on a lake. This guy's got a huge blind. Mike Kettinger, our other past president, he's got a blind that holds like 12 guys in it. They cook out on the island out there, stay out there overnight and stuff, and they have a really good time doing that. Last year they shot like 30 wood ducks, I think it was, or that. So, but in the turkey hunting, that's in the spring and stuff. So that actually the guys just got their tags in the mail now. So guys have been starting to book their hunts for that and stuff.
Heck
so.
yeah, that's awesome. Well,
We-
Mr. Brian, is there anything that we haven't touched on that you want to touch on?
Looking at my notes here.
All right, let's give them the
Well,
website.
I really got to put a thank you out to our landowners. Without the landowners that, open up their properties for us to be able to put these permanent blinds on, the ladder stands on, and have basically can put food plots on their property, none of this would happen, and the volunteers too, all the volunteers that make this all go on, it's a huge group effort. And I'm just so grateful to every one of them. I can't name them all, but it wouldn't matter anyway to this. But anyway, so it's just we've been blessed, and I can't wait to see what the next year brings.
Heck yeah. Donations. Is there a link on your webpage?
Yes, there is. There's a link on the webpage there, or they can go and you can use PayPal. Here, I'm going to hold this little card up here if they can see.
Yeah, it might.
That's our website and our email. Anybody see that all right?
Yep.
Yeah, and Willis put it out on the
okay. All right.
Willis put it out there on the bottom as well. And then for those that are listening, it's heroeshuntforvets.org.
Correct.
And the email, I'm putting it in the chat right now, is hh4vets@gmail.com. So I'm going to throw that up on the screen as well. hh4vets@gmail.com. So when you go to the website, across the top, you'll see sign up, news, honor walk, photos, donate, info, contact, meet the board and sponsors. So if you want to donate, you can go to donate info and you can put it there. You got some people saying hi to you. I think this is Mike. Mike says hi, Brian. I saw Kevin Durant come in here just a minute ago.
Kenny,
or Kenny. So
he's our guide coordinator. He's got the job of herding cats. It's impossible to herd cats. He's a guide coordinator. So every weekend he's got to line up the guides for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and herd all that. I did it for a few years. I know what it's like, and it's a hard job. And Kenny does a really good job of it.
Yeah, I was a
All right.
VP for a nonprofit, and it was fishing on Lake Erie, and
Okay.
trying to get boat captains together
Yeah,
is the same way.
yeah.
So
For
here's a
sure.
question here. This is very cool. Missed the discussion. Is this nationwide or hubbed in one state?
Just in
So,
Wisconsin.
so they're located in Wisconsin, but if you're a veteran, you live in Kentucky, Tennessee, wherever, and you want to
Mhm.
go on one of the hunts, you have to go to their website, hit sign up. Once you sign up on the day that it goes available, you got 30 days,
June 15th.
June 15th, 30 days later, and then they shut it down. And then they start marking it, which I love the way you guys do that. Whether they've been on a hunt, whether they're Purple Heart veteran, whether they're a Vietnam vet, what I love that.
Mhm.
So that's super awesome. Explain no cost for veterans is what Mike is throwing out there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was gonna be my question. So
Basically,
if you get selected, is it on me to get to you, and then once I get to you, I'm good?
yes, yes. That's how we've normally done in the past. We have, if there's been if a vet has a hardship, well, I got to drive up there, but it's going to cost me $300 in gas each way. We might be able to float them a little bit of gas money. But the guys flying, we'll pick them up at the airport. They don't need to rent a car. Once they get here, everything's taken care of. The food, the licensing, the guides. I mean, you don't never take your wallet out the whole time you're here, unless you want to buy a raffle ticket or something like that, or
Yeah.
so no, we try to do everything we can to make it easy on you guys to be able to do it. We don't want to cause any hardships. So like I said,
Heck
now like I
yeah.
say, you shoot a deer, we're gonna take care of the processing for you and stuff. So that won't cost you anything other than if you want special hot sticks or like on that kind of made that you'll pay for, but
Yeah.
So but
Yeah,
no.
if you want the spicy summer sausage,
Yeah.
you gotta come out of pocket for that a little bit.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah, it won't cost you much, but
All right, so I do have one follow-up question. I know I asked this about shipping the deer meat
Yeah.
from you guys to the veteran. Let's say a veteran comes up, right, and he shoots the deer and he doesn't want to keep the meat at all. What do you guys do with that meat? Do you guys donate that back to the community, or do you guys
Yep.
use it on site to
we
help
find we have
feed?
veterans on a list. Yeah, we have veterans on a list waiting to get deer. So I've actually got there's probably 3 donated deer at the meat locker right now, getting ground up into burger and stuff. And we got 3 or 4 vets just chomping at the bits to get their meat, stuff.
Oh,
So we give it
nice.
away then. We
Yeah,
usually
nice.
keep some for next year, because we do a lot of cooking here back at camp. There's campfire every night. We've got a campfire every night. Well, not every night if it's not raining out, but we got a nice hanging out. And so we'll make burgers in the grill and stuff like that, or make chili with it. Or we got a big ice fishing event coming up in February here on. I know you guys don't probably know what ice fishing is, but maybe you do.
Oh, I'm
we
from
drive,
Maine.
We drive trucks out on the ice and ice fish,
Yeah, no, I'm from Maine. So I grew up
Oh,
snowmobile,
sure.
ice fish, driving
Yeah.
the truck out there, watching the pop up come up as you're sitting in the heated truck. Oh yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I love it.
We're doing well. Come on up, February. Was it 9th or 7th? I mean, we got a big fishing trip.
Yeah, Willis and
We'll
I
be-
are in
we'll be-
Tampa.
Yeah.
We'll be in Tampa.
What I should mention is, too, go on our Facebook. Our Facebook page is way more up to date than our website is. Websites are hard to keep going, keep them up to date, updated. Where the
Yeah.
Facebook page is way easier for any of us to add stuff to that. So, and if the phone number that's connected on there is my personal phone number. So if anybody wants to just call me and ask any questions, go on our website. That phone number, you'll get to talk to me. So,
Heck yeah.
welcome.
So you go to the
call.
Facebook page. It's definitely more updated on the Facebook page. I
Yeah.
tagged it on Homefront Sit Rep earlier today, so you can go back, click on the link, and make sure you go follow. And then do them a favor. Once you go to their page, click on those little 3 dots off to the side, and then click invite, and invite your friends to follow and like their
Yeah.
page as well. Because you never know, somebody might be wanting to donate to an organization out there, and this is a great organization to do that for, to help them continue their mission. If you're out there and you just want to donate, go to their website, click on the donate info, and then donate. Now
Yeah.
on the donation, can they do like a one-time donation, and then can they also set it up as a monthly donation?
A recurring.
Sure, there's
How does that?
Benevity Fund is one of the ones that people send in monthly stuff, or if they want to just send checks to what I tell you, make a check out to HHV and mail it to our address that's on there. It's going to come to us. We're going to put it in the bank account, and it's going to go toward the general fund of taking care of stuff. Like I'm going to go out and buy a new 4-wheeler coming up here. Our old one is about 10 years old. It's got decent resale value on it, so we're going to go out and buy buy a different 4-wheeler for all our food plot work stuff that we do on stuff. So, we have expenses. I mean, it costs money to do all this, but we've been blessed and we're doing all right.
Yeah, good deal.
It's about putting smiles on veterans' faces, and we put a lot of smiles on you guys. So
Heck yeah,
Do you do the ice fishing thing every first weekend February or around that time every year?
Normally it was been the last weekend of February, but the ice has been kind of iffy lately up here.
Yeah.
So this year is the first year we're going to do it the first week of February. So
I tell you, I'll keep it marked on my calendar, and we'll stay in touch because I definitely I got the itch. I mean, I've got my cleats here. Yeah. I've got my I'm ready. I even have a pair of cleats that might fit Willis.
Cool.
There we go.
You guys can stay right in our nice warm heated tent.
Let's do it. I've never been ice fishing, so I'm down, bro. I'm down.
That's awesome, man. We'll definitely get you out there. You come up for the weekend. Not just a one night thing. We'll go out to Lake Winnebago or Lake Fox Lake or whatever. We'll get you out. We have a couple of guides who are actually guides on our board of directors. They'll get you on fish.
Well, heck
Good
yeah.
deal.
And then we meet at nighttime. We'll go shoot some coyotes.
Hey, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
I got one yesterday morning. I got one yesterday morning in the daytime, which is unusual around here.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. So Dr. James says ice fishing is fun at -40 in Fairbanks. So he did ice fishing in Fairbanks, Alaska.
Oh man, that's nuts.
So yeah, I can
only flash freeze, right?
Yeah,
right.
Just stick them outside and they freeze right there.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Brian, I want to say thank you again for coming on here for this hour and hanging out with Gunny and I talking about Heroes Hunt for Veterans. I'm just so lucky to run across your post on Facebook. That's how I find a lot of my guests. And then I started looking into you guys, what you're doing, looking at your Facebook page, looking at your website and everything. And I was like, man, this is kind of right up my alley. It's grassroots, mom and pops. They really care about veterans as veterans and not numbers. And that's what we love highlighting here on Homefront Sit Rep. So thank you again. Thank you, Mike, for giving me Brian's number and saying, hey, reach out to this guy. When you told me your story about your nephew, I was like, all right, that's the why. That's why they
Can I give you one more short story?
Yes, sir.
One of the Vietnam vets we had, oh gosh, it's got to be 7-8 years ago. His wife called me up. He was from Toledo, Ohio. He said that his wife told me that he's very depressed. He's very suicidal. He had been, when he got back from Vietnam, he went right away. He did 2 tours in Vietnam, by the way, both volunteered. And he went right to work for the VA when he got out of Vietnam. So he had a good career. When he retired, he got depressed and didn't want to live any longer, basically, is what his wife told me. Well, I got him on the phone, and his little timid voice come on, and he says, hi. I said, hey, I'm not going to say his name, but I'll never forget him. But he came here. I said, do you want to come drive out to Wisconsin, come on a hunt with us? And he says, well, I guess my wife says I have to. I said, well, good. That's when you listen to your wife. So anyway, he drives out here, and it's, it's a 7-8 hour drive from Toledo, roughly, over that. And he gets here, and it's about 60 degrees out, but it's bow hunting. And he says, hey, I got this coonskin hat I want to wear. Is it okay if I wear this coonskin hat? I said, absolutely, you can wear this. It's 60 degrees out, but I don't care. Well, he ends up shooting this little tiny forkhorn, which every adult deer to us is a trophy. We don't recommend shooting fawns if you can help it, but that happens too. But he shoots this little forkhorn. And it's the very first deer he ever got. And the guy was on top of the world. And at the end of that, that's before we had our big building up. We did have the tent back then. And we had our little camper trailer. He gathered us guys who were there that weekend. And he took his arm around and he says, this hunt saved my life.
Wow.
And that right there told me, that we're doing something right. But maybe, it's helping somebody to actually get out of that that's dark to be that far gone. And so now he went back. He bought a crossbow. He looked up some of his old hunting buddies, and he calls me about every other year to tell him, "Hey, I'm going out hunting again." I says, "Good. That's what it's all about."
Heck yeah.
So,
That's definitely what it's about. And that, you don't always hear those stories when you're working with veterans. You don't always hear, "Hey, you guys saved my life," or "What you were doing saved my life." And for somebody who's in that realm of helping veterans, to hear that one story is enough to keep them going, because you never know. We reach on this show, on this platform, we reach thousands of veterans every time we're on here. Just to hear that one story, "Hey, you guys saved my life." That's well worth it. That's why we do what we do, just to reach that one veteran each day. And it's just amazing that you guys got to hear that story. That's awesome, bro. That is phenomenal. Well, Mr. Brian, I want to say thank you again for coming on. Tell your wife, I know she's in the background watching TV. Thank you for allowing us this time. Nate Ball says thank you.
Oh, that's my nephew.
That's your
He's
nephew.
the one I started this for.
Semper Fi Marine.
Right on.
He's been watching.
Yep, he's been
good.
watching.
I'm glad he was. Yeah.
So
good
I
kid.
definitely want to thank you again for Gunny and I, for you coming on here talking about Heroes Hunt for Veterans.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I'm in Kentucky.
I hope I get to meet you guys someday.
Yes,
in
sir.
person.
Oh, that will happen for sure.
Good.
Yeah,
Good
that
deal.
will happen for sure. Todd
Awesome.
Sorensen says Semper Fi. So we're gonna drop in the green room.
Here's a picture of Todd. If I can get this on here. This is a buck that he shot.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
His Marine brother Bill, he was the one that guided him.
Oh,
Nice.
And
That's
they
awesome.
run Semper Fi charters. They got Lake Michigan fishing. So you got a reason to come here in the summer too, guys, because you can go out with a couple other Marines and go fishing on Lake Michigan, catch giant salmon and trout.
See, that's what it's all about, is making those connections. Todd, do me a favor, send me an email at homefrontsitrep@gmail.com, and I want to have you guys on the show to talk about what you guys do.
Great idea. Yeah, they're two good guys, brothers in the Marines, and they still like each other.
Well, we love Marines here on Homefront Sit Rep. So I'm going to throw my email.
What's the sit rep thing? What's the sit rep? What is?
So sit rep is situation report.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the military, sit rep is a situation report, and Homefront is here in America. So
gotcha.
Todd, I just threw my email out there, but yeah. So it's basically a situation report of here, and it's it's a situation report of all these mom and pop grassroots nonprofits that still care about us as veterans.
Yeah.
So
or the singer-songwriters, all the veterans that are doing good work in the name of veterans and for veterans, or first responders of the Gold Star family. So that's the biggest thing for us, is just highlighting, some of the ones that people may never have heard of.
I'm sorry. Right. Speaking of Gold Star, one of the gals that we had hunt with us this last year, she's a veteran also, but also a Gold Star widow. Her son, when he was 16 this year, they're from Texas, and when she applied for a hunt, she says, "Well, but by any chance could I bring my son along?" I said, "Well, normally this hunt's only for veterans, but since your son is a Gold Star child, we'll make it happen. We'll have him hunt on property that I can hunt on." So he was in, because he told his mom when his dad passed away when he was 9, "Who's going to take me hunting now?" So I said, "Yep, by all means, bring him on up." So lo and behold, I got to guide him. He shot a nice little 5-pointer and a doe all in the same night. So he was able to shoot a deer. And then his mom got a great big doe too. So
that's
done
awesome.
good. So
heck yeah.
That is phenomenal. Well, Mr. Brown, we're going to drop you in the green room. If you got to go if you got to do what you got to do, that's okay. If you want to hang out when Gunny and I get done with the show, we'll come back and chit chat with you. It's up to you, whatever you want to do.
All right. Sounds good.
Appreciate you, brother.
And thank you, guys.
Thank you. How cool was that, Gunny? I didn't hear it.
They're doing great work, man. That is just unbelievable what they're doing up there in Wisconsin. And what do you say, 150 something guys and gals that have come through there in the past 11 years. That's
No,
just
500,
nuts.
100, 500, 552, I believe.
Yeah.
I think he said
100
500.
something. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
And you hit that's phenomenal. I heard it in your headphones, but not on the screen. So I don't know what happened there.
I don't know.
I don't know. Do it
It's
again.
not working.
Nope, can't hear it on the screen. Something
Man.
happened. Something setting changed.
My
But you know
kid
what it is?
must be
You know what time it is, Gunny?
What time is it?
I don't know. You ready?
I mean, we got 2 segments, so there's
I
got to be
know.
one of them for sure.
Yep, it's time for Clip That.
Gunny's Words of Wisdom.
Don't eat the yellow snow.
Yes, do not eat the yellow snow. Yeah.
That's your words of wisdom for this Sunday. Do not eat the yellow snow.
Yeah, definitely do not eat the yellow snow. Oh my Lord. Could you imagine? You're in Bridgeport. You're in Bridge. Let's say you're out in Bridgeport, California, because we've been there, right?
Yeah,
And
a couple times.
And you're setting up your bivouac, right? And you're out there and it's got fresh powder from the night before. And you go out there and you start digging down and all of a sudden you see yellow snow.
No, what happens if you're because there's a week in between the groups, right?
Yeah.
And they've got that full week of snow where you go out there and you go to get snow to melt down for your tea or your coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
And you take your canteen cup and you scoop down in there. You don't realize it. And all of a sudden you start smelling urine.
Yeah.
Or the water is a little yellow.
Yeah. Anywho,
What's wrong with you, Willis?
Yeah, what's wrong with us? I'm hoping it clipped. I said clip this, so I'm hoping it clipped that.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right, time for the
and
next
not all
segment.
and last week was don't pee into the wind. The words of wisdom won't always have to do with pee. There will be some serious ones in there too. I'm just putting that out to the world.
You're just saying that, huh?
Yeah, just throwing it out there.
Veteran joke of the day.
What's the difference between the Boy Scouts and the Army? The Boy Scouts have adult supervision. Sorry,
true.
Army. I had to.
Very true.
But very true. I had to do it. So the clip that I put together for you and I for the last week's Words of Wisdom. Yeah. So I posted that several places, TikTok and Facebook and everything. And some of the comments about peeing into the wind was hilarious on TikTok. It was just like, oh man. And then there's one guy, I can't tell if he was being sarcastic or not. He's like, that's not funny. And I'm like, bro. So who knows?
It's not a joke. It's words of wisdom.
Yeah, it's the words of wisdom.
I mean, if that's how a dude wants to take a shower, he's all for him. I'm not doing it that way.
There you go.
He probably gets his water downstream before everybody bathes too.
Oh, heck, far. Anywho, it's about that time. I do want to say thank you again to Brian and Mike from Heroes Hunts for Veterans up in Wisconsin. Definitely go check out their website. Go check out their Facebook page where they update things. I know they're winding down for this year. They'll be getting ready to get back into the groove of things come hunting season. So go check them out. Go donate to these guys. If you have a new quad or a gator, something of that nature, and you're not utilizing it, donate it to them. They could probably use it up there for the food plots or whatever. Now I did ask on the phone, do they take veterans out that are amputees and stuff of that nature? They do. However, if you're a blind veteran, unfortunately, they don't have the technology uh, for the scope wise to help,
Yeah.
guide the veteran on. Now, they're not saying they're opposed to that. So if you're a veteran that is blind
And
and
you
you
and
love
you have the
hunting
gear.
and you have the gear, they can help you and get a deer out in Wisconsin. So don't let that deter you from going to the website and signing up June 15th when it goes available. You have 30 days, June 15th through June, July, August, or July 15th. So
July.
June to July to register for this hunt. I'm super excited. I think I might put in for a hunt. I don't know. I've never been on a veteran hunt. I've hunted my whole life, but I've never been on a veteran hunt. So I think I'm gonna put my name in the hat. We'll see what happens. And I might get to go on a hunt. Who knows? I think I would love to go on a veteran hunt at least once in my life. As a guided, because I've never hunted outside of Kentucky.
Yeah.
Like I've been to Texas. There's plenty of deer in Texas, but I've never hunted out there. I've been to North Carolina, never hunted in North Carolina. Been to Tennessee, never hunted. So going on a veteran hunt in a different state, I think that would be amazing to just experience once in a lifetime kind of thing. So I might put my name in a hat and see what happens. But anywho, it is that time of night, Gunny. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. You're not alone. You still have worth. You still have value. Don't let the dark days win. All those days that you get knocked down is not failure. It's an opportunity for learning. Learn every day and come out stronger on the backside of it.
I love it. In the silence of your struggles, remember, though unseen, you are deeply held in the hearts of others. You are not alone. And this right here just piggybacks right off of that. The uniform may come off, but the bond remains. And together we heal, we rise, and we carry each other forward. And the key word there is together. Together we heal, together we rise, together we carry each other forward. If you have veterans cutting other veterans down and saying your service is less important than my service, then we're doing it wrong. No matter what you did in the military, whether you were support, infantry, whatever, your service still matters. You matter. You are enough. Don't let some jackwagon say, well, you ain't important enough. You didn't serve in combat. Who gives a tip de two-da? Because I don't.
You can't do the job alone, period.
Right.
It's just not happening.
Amen. Hashtag be someone stranger. Guys, we talk about this on every episode of Homefront Sit Rep. Be someone stranger. Listen, we as humans, we're more apt to talk to a complete stranger than the ones we love the most. So you're out and about and you see somebody and it looks like they're having a bad day. Go up to them, say, hey, how you doing? And if they give you the red flags, I'm okay, I'm hanging in there, I'm living a dream, ask the next hard question. But be ready, because it could be a 5-minute conversation, could be an 8-hour conversation. You have to be ready for that.
I tell you, Brian was talking about every night that they have the bonfire, weather permitting, right? And people may come in there as strangers, but they leave as brothers. They leave as sisters, and the friendships they make for the guys and gals that are volunteering with Heroes Hunt for Veterans. That's what it is. That's one little village that you can use. Those guys and gals you met on that hunt, because you have that common bond, right? The guys and girls you served with, you have that common bond. Your friends, your family, right? There are so many villages in your life that you can go into and get that support. This village right here, we talk about it every week. That cell phone roulette. Pick up your cell phone, open your contacts, blindly scroll through, hit on somebody, give them a call. Your voice might be the one that saves their life.
Yeah, I just talked to Andrew earlier on the phone. I knew so I reached out to him a couple weeks ago, and I knew he was having a struggle. Um, change of job, change of house, having some family struggles. And I hadn't talked to him in a couple weeks, and I was like, sent him a message. And I was like, "Hey man, how you doing?" I asked him a couple questions because I was trying to see if he was available for the Warrior Honor Cruise. Come to find out he is, but unfortunately, he with his nonprofit that he's got this November coming up, he's doing that 2,200 and some mile ride.
Yeah.
So he's starting down south, working his way up through Kentucky, then back down into Florida. So we in Louisville are one of the stops that he's going to be making. So I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey, bro, how you doing?" And we talked for 25 minutes on the phone earlier today just because I was checking in on him. I wanted to make sure he was good to go, with everything that he was going through. And he's like, "Man, I'm doing much better now. I'm in a much better place." So you definitely have to check on the people that are struggling, especially around the holidays. We all know that holidays are the worst for veterans. Um, and so you gotta reach out to your so it takes a village, whether it's with a nonprofit like Heroes Hunts for Veterans, whether it's, the Hope Project down in Florida, whether it's Warriors Next Adventure, you build your tribe that way, but you also have the tribe that's closest to you in your neck of the woods, whether you're in Kentucky, whether you're wherever you're at. Those people like Gunny is part of my tribe. My wife is now part of that tribe. The people that I have come in contact with, um, that live close to me, my circle's small, my immediate tribe is small, but they're still my tribe, and you have to check on them. Like, I'll reach out to Gunny just randomly, "Hey, how you doing?" Or he'll check on me or whatnot if we haven't heard from each other in a few days. So it's just something that we do. So it definitely takes a village. So find your village, whether it's somebody that is in your close knit family, or a nonprofit that you associate yourself with. So definitely find your tribe, find your village. I want to give a big shout out to our partners. First off is Heroes Media Group. I want to give Adam Bird at heroesmediagroup.com. So that's heroesmediagroup.com. Go check out the website. Check out all the veteran podcasts that are there. It's a great organization. Adam's built something that's phenomenal. He really cares about the veteran community. So go check out heroesmediagroup.com. Next, I want to give a big shout out to Jeff Pierce and his team at ReachAcrossAmericaRadio.org. So that is, I'm going to go ahead and scroll that across the bottom of the screen. That's www.reachaccrossamerica.org/radio, which you can find Homefront Sit Rep there on Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. That's Thursday nights, 11 p.m. Eastern. So go check out reachaccrossamerica.org/radio. Another big shout out to sameflagsameoath.com, another one of our partners. They have our co-branded shirt, which says Marine It Down on it. At the end of the year, Gunny and I get 25% of all sales. So if you want to go buy one of our shirts, go to sameflagsameoath.com, click on co-branded, scroll down till you see Marine It Down. That is our shirt. It's got our Homefront Sit Rep logo on there. And like I said, we get 25% of each sale. Gunny and I have decided that we're going to take all these nonprofits, spin a wheel. Whoever it lands on gets that 25% at the end of the year. Um, Another big shout out to Valor Coins and Pins, Brent Casey and Brian Casey. They're amazing. They're the grandsons of Medal of Honor recipient Herschel Woody Williams. They created Valor Coins and Pins. They've created Homefront Sit Rep coin. Had to make sure it was right. Gunny and I's design, but they created it for us, and it turned out phenomenal. RDC Shoe Company, big shout out to them. Darren Davis is a Marine Corps veteran who created RDC shoes. The Patriot Edition is the ones that I have, and they are phenomenal to wear. Very, very comfortable. Gunny, do you have yours in there? Probably not.
They're up in the closet.
I got you. I got you. Mine are upstairs as well. Let's see. Who else am I missing? I'm missing somebody.
Elite engraving.
Yeah, Elite Engraving, who did our amazing hat here. They're small veteran-owned company here in Kentucky, in between Gunny and I. Actually, they're up in Campbellsburg, Kentucky, and they do hats. They do engraving on cups. They do a lot of stuff for weddings, like engraving the knife for the cake cutting. They do a lot of engraving. So Elite Engraving, go check them out as well. Military United podcast streams. Want to give Brian a big shout out with MUPS. We're on their Roku app that they have on Roku. Plus, we stream on Military United podcast streams as well. So go check out MUPS as well. And then I think that's all of our
Same
partner
flag, same oath.
I've already said them. Yeah, we already got them.
Yeah, that's everybody.
Yeah, I want to give challengeamerica.com. It's a national nonprofit. We are partnered with them through their cavarts.org. That's cavarts.org. If you are a veteran and you love art therapy, Cavarts is what you need to join. There's leatherworking, metalworking. If you want to learn how to play the guitar, you can learn how to play the guitar with Guitars for Vets. You will learn how to podcast. We have our Art of Podcasting on there that we do the first Wednesday of each month. So come check out cavarts.org, which is Challenge America Veterans in the Arts. That's what CAVART stands for. So go check that out. We got a comment over here. Hey, Gunny and Willis.
Yeah.
I will do that, Mike. I will send it to Brian. Yeah, Gunny, you can send yours to Brian via that text message group that I created, and I'll do the same. But thank you, Mike. Thank you again. So that's another great episode of Homefront Sit Rep. Man,
what do we have tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have Mr. Charles Tapp. Let me pull up his bio.
Just a little bit, just a teaser.
Yeah, just a teaser. Let me give a little bit of pull up his bio. I wish I had remembered to bring that up. Where is the bio? All right, Charles Brad. Where the hell is his bio? I had it here.
No, just who is it and what's he represent, and we can get it tomorrow.
All right. So I'm trying to remember. So here we go. Charles Tapp is an Air Force veteran and senior financial executive with extensive experience leading large mission-driven organizations. So he is right now. He was with the VA. He managed a 190 billion benefits portfolio, doubled his team size. So he's done a lot of work with the VA. And now he's with Steerbridge, I believe is steerbridge.com, which is another great organization that helps veterans. Let's see. Steerbridge as a VA account executive. So at Steerbridge, he's a VA account executive. So we're going to find out about Mr. Charles Tapp, who's an Air Force veteran, and get to see what they do at Steerbridge and how they help veterans navigate the VA system. So make sure you tune in tomorrow for that. Then the 18th, unless Gunny wants to do a show by himself, have a guest we don't have a guest for the 18th because that's when Grace goes back to college. So I don't know. Are you going to want to do a show if I get that one guy that does the flag? No. Well, we'll talk offline on that.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. But we got some great shows lined up for you guys. Even if Gunny just comes on here and bumps his gums for an hour,
that might happen.
He might. That might happen. But I want to say thank you guys for all of you guys that come on here and watch. Gunny and myself and our guests that we have every week, every Sunday, Monday. You guys are why we keep doing what we do. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and also from Gunny's heart as well, for coming back and enjoying watching Homefront Sit Rep. So thank you again. Like we always say on Homefront Sit Rep, stay safe out there. We got your
We got your six.
Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find Homefront Sit Rep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your six.